we were prospecting the Strip one night, and I ran into this lady, and we were having just this little conversation or whatever. I built some rapport, and then I prospected her for our network marketing thing, and she goes, "One of those things?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Honey, you can make so much more money stripping." And that's when I was like, I am not talking to the right people here.
Yeah.
Like, that was that, like, okay, something has to change.
Yeah.
Whit and Cari Higham, this is the first time we've had the opportunity to sit down. You guys, you were on stage like all day today.
Yeah, for the majority of it. I think towards the end, we were there quite a bit.
Been on stage for like hours now.
Yeah, seriously.
So
a couple hours, I think, now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, yeah. So welcome to the next conversation we're going to have
Love it.
publicly. So what would be really cool, a lot of folks in the community know you guys and love you guys, actually.
Sweet.
Very, very popular folks. Good. And I tell people all the time, like, hey, so you want to know what works? Just do what they're doing.
Just do it. Yeah.
So, but what would be great if you guys could share your story and kind of bring the folks up to speed who may not have heard your story yet.
For sure. Awesome. I guess.
You go.
wanna
I told it from
Sweet.
stage. You tell it.
Love it. I guess, so a little bit about us, where we come from. I used to be a dental technician, used to do crowns, veneers, bridges, and stuff like that. She used to own her own salon at home. Did that for about 2 years. Sadly enough, technology kind of took over my industry, and so went from making a really good six-figure income to nothing, literally maybe a couple $100s a week if I was lucky. Got forced out of the industry really quick, and it wasn't the perfect time, and that's when network marketing kind of came into our lives. We were in the process of losing our house. We were moving into her parents' basement. We just barely, we had I think not even a year-old baby yet.
No, he wasn't a year old.
Not a year old,
yet. And we had done a lot of infertility treatments to get him, so we had racked up, over $30,000 in debt.
Yeah.
That doesn't even include
the amount of miles you put on the car, going to the doctor, doing all that stuff. And so at one point, I was working multiple jobs, just basically to put food on the table again, and because that was my skill set. I couldn't apply my skill set anywhere else.
It wasn't even enough.
Yeah, and it wasn't even enough. And so we jumped into network marketing. We failed miserably for 6 months. No distributors, no customers, nobody wanted to listen to us, and the ones that did listen to us thought we were absolutely crazy for what we were doing. Everybody was pretty much rooting against us, to fail, which is sad because a lot of the times, the people that are closest to you are most critical, right? And so, but we were really, really headstrong. We sat down together and we said, look, and how we got into the industry actually, right before we sold our house, I actually bought brand new cabinets that I was going to put into our house. Basically, we did a whole new remodel, everything, and I did a lot of that work, other than a few things that I didn't know how to do. And the last thing I was going to do is put brand new cabinets in our kitchen, finish it up. I would have had a really good resale value, all that stuff, if we decided to sell it. And we got into network marketing because we were losing it. And I said, look, we don't have any money to do this. So if we want to invest, it's either we just don't do it or we sell these cabinets. And so I paid a lot of money for them, and we sold them for very cheap just to get in and make it happen. And so that's kind of where we were at that point. But we did fail miserably for 2 years in network marketing. After the first 6 months, we did find some people that were, crazy enough to listen to us and want to do what we were doing.
We had built a couple small teams in different areas, but it just seemed like once they got just going, all of a sudden they'd fall apart.
Yeah, the momentum would start, and then all of a sudden they'd come crashing down. And I wish I had a picture to show, but the car we were driving around was a Mazda 3. I think the only thing power in it was the motor and the windows. Everything else was like everything manual.
Base model that you could get.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't have to crank start the motor as well, but it was. I remember we had this car and we put thousands, I would say probably in a 2-year time, we probably put probably about 120, 130,000 miles on this car. And it was crazy. We hit 3 deer, a raccoon. Literally, that car was absolutely destroyed.
I hit a parked water heater.
Yeah, a water heater.
Just a water heater that was there. It wasn't necessarily parked, but I drove into it.
Yeah, it was a water heater that we had to replace in our house with money we didn't have because it was leaking, and the people that were trying to buy it later wouldn't do it unless we replaced the water heater. I put it outside. She runs into it, puts a big old hole right through the front of the car. The windshield wiper box broke, done, fluid everywhere. And that was the car we drove to build our network marketing business for a long time. And then, so that was for 2 years that we did that over and over and over and over again. And then one day we just was like, okay, I'm gonna give it one last hoorah. I'm gonna find some people and we're gonna do this. She had pretty much checked out.
checked out at that point. I was, after 2 years of not getting anywhere and being frustrated, living with my mother-in-law now because we had moved from my parents' house to my mother-in-law's house. I was over it.
We kind of got pushed out of her parents' house pretty much because we were still network marketers. We didn't make any money yet, so they were just kind of like, all right. And I remember the time that we had to go, and so we just barely had our second son.
I've been at home from the hospital maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, like literally 2 hours. So she wasn't even like feeling good. She could barely even walk. And they go, hey, but we need to show you this house. And have you ever seen the house from Beetlejuice? That's exactly what it looked like.
It looked like.
Like everything was uneven, nothing was square.
Mold along the baseboards.
Yeah, like it was bad, but the selling point of it was, but look at this amazing garage. like, oh, cool, if I'm going to live in the garage, right? But that wasn't, but obviously we weren't going to be able to do that. And so at the end of the day, we were just like, okay, we get the hint. Like, you don't want us right here, right now. And bless their hearts, they took us for a year.
We're so grateful that they let us live there as long as they did. But
it did save us. It got us out of a really, really sticky situation financially. And so we said, okay, and my mom was partly the reason that we got into network marketing. So I went to her and I said, hey, look, they pretty much want us out. So could we come and live with you guys since you guys know what we're trying to do? And they said, okay. And so we lived there for almost 2 years with them trying to build this. But at the same time, that was when Cari had checked out of our business. She was just like, I'm done. Her physical form was there, but her mind and heart and everything was just gone, and I could tell. And I looked at her and I said, look, this is the year I'm going to give a really big hoorah. January, I think it was 2016, and I think it was 150 meetings all out throughout the state of Utah.
Easily over 100, I could tell you
and didn't sign up anybody. Nobody had listened to me. It was like winter time, so obviously roads in Utah are not very good during the month of January.
And he was doing a lot of cold market prospecting because that's all we had at that point.
While I was at work,
we had burned through our warm market, and so there was no like and trust with these people. So looking back, it makes sense that he didn't enroll anybody out of 150 people.
I just basically, I was working for Pepsi at the time and delivering just to different stores and vending machines and stuff like that. And so anybody that I met on this route, I was like, oh, I know you. So I kind of had a relationship. And I was like, hey, I'm going to come over to your house later and we're gonna talk about this. I'm going to get out of this and we're going to make some money, because they were like working at Maverick and different places like that. They wanted to make more money, obviously. And at the end of that month, nothing happened, and I remember checking out. And that was about the same time that, we found Elite Marketing Pro. And I took a look at it. It was brought to us by one of our upline. She just said, look, Whit, you got to take a look at this, because we'd both been trying to transition our business from offline to online. And we did everything the wrong way online as well. We spammed yard sale groups. We got anybody that led us into anything, really. I think some mom pregnancy groups, I think we were hitting up. Like, I'm like, they need money, right, or an opportunity. So we got into a bunch of those groups, and we just started posting links everywhere. And we talked to a lot of people. Actually, one of our bigger teams that started to develop came from that, but then it just fell apart. And so that's kind of where we were 2 years at first, and then fast forward to now, it's been a really cool journey of what we've been able to create since. It's
been a little bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, totally.
A fun one.
Yeah, it's been fun, but definitely been some hard times of, me personally, being where I was when I first got out of school, being able to provide. We were happy, we were comfortable. There was a lot that we were looking forward to, and then all of a sudden going from that and not even be able to buy diapers for my not even 1-year-old at the time, and stuff like that. It was, and really, really depressing for me, just because I seen her, I seen the struggle that she had to go through as a stay-at-home mom, and she wanted to help, but we put ourselves in all our eggs in one basket, and that's what we were going to do. And And so again, 2 years into it, that's when we found Elite Marketing Pro. We started to change our mindset. We started to actually grow skill sets, find mentors, and made it happen.
Yeah.
So that didn't disappoint.
Yeah.
Now, when did you prospect the stripper?
The stripper. We got to
So
bring
this
the
was,
stripper.
that's
Let
a
me tell the
great,
story.
yeah,
Let me tell the
totally.
story.
Well, you're the one who
Okay.
prospected the stripper, so you got to.
Part of our cold market prospecting, our upline, when we would go to them, because we're like, we don't know what to do. We're not enrolling anybody. When we would go to them, they're like, you need to go where the people are. Well, we live in a really teeny town in the middle of Utah, so
Yeah.
the people are either down here in Vegas or up in Salt Lake. So on the weekends, we would drive 4 or 5 hours down here to Vegas, and we would prospect the strip, malls, anywhere that had a crowd of people, and we got good at it. Like,
Yeah.
I could get anybody's number.
Yeah.
Anybody's
And we always
number.
make the joke, she didn't have to take her clothes off either. So
I never had to
we
take
did.
my clothes off.
We did get really good at getting numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, but we did. We got really good at getting people to at least take a look. And we were prospecting the strip one night, and I ran into this lady, and we were having just this little conversation or whatever. I built some rapport, and then I prospected her for our network marketing thing, and she goes, "One of those things?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Honey, you can make so much more money stripping." And that's when I was like, I am not talking to the right people here.
Yeah.
Like, that was that, like, okay, something has to change.
Yeah, and we spent months doing that down here, and we live 5 hours away. So driving down there every single weekend for months, and even sometime during the middle of the week we did that.
Yeah, but it was kind of like, so we had this, I guess, I don't even know what you call it. Our strategy was we'd come down to Vegas on the weekends, get anywhere from 40, 50, 60 numbers, and we would call them throughout the week. And then during the week, we were up cold prospecting in Salt Lake because it was only 2 hours away. So we would get hundreds of numbers in a week, call all of them. They would, a lot of them would take a look, but because there was no like or trust, we could never get anybody to cross the finish line.
Yeah. So
nobody would enroll.
at the end of the day, we met some pretty cool people. So
And that thought comes through your mind, like, I probably could, but
yeah,
I would
right.
never do that.
Right. Well, you'd be good at it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Very good. That was a great soundbite.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Thank you.
So you found Elite Marketing Pro,
Yep.
and you used a consultation funnel.
Yep.
Tell folks, like, that changed everything.
It did.
Yeah.
So let's hear about that.
Cool.
Okay, so the consultation funnel, when we first start out, part of what Elite Marketing Pro's process is they have you plug into funnels that they already have.
That are converting,
that
that are working.
that are working, so that all you have to really focus on in the beginning is learning how to attract people to you. And as I was doing this, a lot of people, they try to focus on automation so quickly that they get lost in the automation,
Yeah.
and they don't want to put their personal touch into it. And I knew that I could get a lot of people to take a look at my opportunity if I could just get in front of them.
And this came from learning how to prospect.
Came from learning how to cold prospect. I mean, I was a machine. I could get anybody to take a look. And so I thought, what if, what's something I might do? And I was like, what if I started hopping on video chats with people?
Yeah.
And I could actually show them what Elite Marketing Pro could do for their business. And so it started with an ad that I had, and it all kind of just happened by accident.
And at this point, we got involved with Elite Marketing Pro of May of 2016, and really we started this process about a couple months later, about July, August, we started to perfect this thing, and that's when it really, really started to take off, where we really caught on to something and got really good at it.
Yeah, and so how it what the structure kind of looked like was people would comment more info on my ads, and that's what happened by accident. Was I had someone comment, "Hey, can you just send me some more info?"
And then it just snowballed.
And then all of a sudden it snowballed with more info. And so I started inviting these people through Facebook Messenger to hop on a video chat with me so I could share my screen with them and show them how it worked. And at the time, no one else was willing to do that. Everyone was focusing on automation, and so people were like, man, this chick actually wants to talk to me, right? And get to see if this is a fit for me and my business. So people were hopping on. And then it was a matter of showing them how it could benefit their business. And at that point, it was easy, to sell someone on a $27 ebook through Elite Marketing Pro.
Yeah, and really what it led us to is right after we learned that strategy and started to apply it, we just got really good at doing that. We're like, holy crap, I don't understand the automation so much, and I'm learning that still, and there's a whole bunch of variables that go into that, right, of learning that process. And so where Cari said, everybody gets lost in that, totally true, and it's totally normal, totally okay. But we just realized really quick that we do have a good skill set, that I know how to engage with people. We do know how to get people to take that action, to ask for more info, because we got good at doing it from spamming people.
Yeah.
So we just switched the wording around just a little bit to not be that person of, hey, here's a link or doing something like that, but actually create curiosity and get them to comment. And once we did that, we went from, just trickling along in our business, and a couple months later, once we perfected that, to our first, $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's really cool is with the consult funnel, so that's kind of how we found it, but now our consult funnel is actually geared towards bringing people into our network marketing business. So it's cool because you can integrate it with any funnel you're already using, and you can also have it be, just something on your website. You can run it from a post,
a
Facebook
personal
ad,
page, whatever
an
that may
email.
be.
It doesn't matter where it starts. But what's great about it is you're attracting the high quality people to you, and they're going through kind of a filtering process so that you're only talking to the most highest quality people possible.
Because it
It's
really
pretty
just
cool.
comes down to the major problem that a lot of network marketers face is okay, well, who do I talk to? How do I build a relationship? I don't know anybody. I'm done. I don't want to do cold market prospecting. Nobody is going to do what we did.
No, it was not duplicatable.
Very rarely are you going to find somebody like us that was going to do that, right? And we just realized really quick, we're like, man, that is just not going to work on a big scale. And so what we just really found is that if we could get somebody on a video call, we were solving that problem of actually learning how to build a network.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We actually said, holy crap, we actually are now building a pipeline of people that we're building relationships with. I'm not leading with, hey, here's a bunch of stuff that you can go and check out, but actually leading with, hey, let's have a conversation about your business, where you're at, what's not working for you. And when I found out what wasn't working for them, I said, okay, cool, I get it. Here's what we did.
Yeah.
Right? And because our story is a little bit more dramatic in what we decided we were going to do, people are like, man, I haven't even done that yet. Is that what that looks like? And then we can take them, well, no, it doesn't have to look like. Let's derail you a little bit and let's go over here. Here's where this goes in.
And the cool thing is, I think the coolest part about all of this is that, the people that have started implementing our video chatting process and the consultation funnel into their businesses, they're having just crazy results.
They are.
Right? A
Yeah.
lot of their upgrades in the Elite Marketing Pro community are coming from those people
Video
that they
chats
had
and stuff,
conversations with. A lot of the teammates that they're recruiting are from people that they had video chats with.
Yep.
And it's because it's the fastest, best way that you can possibly build rapport with a prospect.
Yep.
So I mentioned this at the start, and I want to really emphasize, because when people ask me, Andrew, I want to create results now, because of course that's
Totally.
right. I say, so you guys see what Whit and Cari are doing?
Right.
And then so just so we're really clear, we've got a page, we've
Yep.
got an ad.
Yep.
The call to action is say more info or something of that nature.
Yeah, comment just comment something to let us know you're
Or even just a
interested.
Facebook Live,
Yeah.
totally.
Messenger, then video chat.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now, it's a little bit more now where
Messenger to a
Calendar.
calendar. They actually
Oh, yes.
schedule on our calendar.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about
Yep.
scheduling. All of a sudden, they come through okay, I've got meetings today, tomorrow, and
And that's something that we figured out as we first started doing it is we kept trying to schedule this, and we never seemed to either be at the right time where we're coordinating times very well, or we got really busy, they got really busy, and people were falling through the cracks, where most people, when it comes to Messenger, you send them a message, they'll see it, and they'll come back to it. A lot of people, that's where they spend most of their time right now is in their Facebook Messenger. So we just said, well, let's just create the calendar. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and we can get them to schedule whatever time frames. We have our time frames open so they can go in and say, okay, cool, I got all these times that I can choose. It's gonna work for them. And again, it's just another way of filtering the really high quality people that are actually serious about their business and wanting to have that conversation. The ones that don't, they just look at it, say it's too much, and I say, great, that's fine, move along, and you'll find the ones that, Yep.
I love it. And of course, as you guys mentioned, it really doesn't matter what funnel you're promoting.
No.
No,
could
it
be
doesn't.
Elite Marketing Pro funnel.
Yep.
It can be your own company. I
Yep.
mean, this process works for anything.
Yeah.
Which is
Over any platform too, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
If you're on LinkedIn,
Instagram,
Facebook,
Twitter, whatever.
Instagram, Twitter, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
the process is the same.
Yeah, because even if you're using a blog post, like you're trying to run to a blog post to give more content, okay, the thing about Facebook is you're going to get people as you're learning to run ads and as you're learning to target people, maybe get specific, or how to even grow an audience on a fan page or even a personal page. Okay, this works on a personal page. We have a team that does this, and they do it really well.
Yeah.
And but on a fan page, what it's going to really get you to understand is once you start to target running to a blog post or something like that, all you're doing is because on Facebook, you're going to find people that are just people that like to sit in the back and just like to click around. That was me. That was what I did. I just clicked around. I didn't post. I didn't engage. I didn't do any of that stuff.
Never liked anything.
I never liked anything.
He was the Facebook,
I guess,
like
stalker.
The lurker.
Yeah, the lurker.
That's what we call you. The lurker.
The weird guy. Yeah. And so and what we realized is that, well, I can have a call to action. People already tend to know when they see something like that they can click on it. So they're just like, okay, well, what is this? I mean, the way you word it, where you have a headline and stuff like that, people just catch on to that and say, okay, I can click on this, right? Without having a button that says, click here. I mean, most people catch on to that and can click on it. But then there's these other people that are really engaging, that love to comment, that love to like, that love to share, that love to talk to people. And we figured that, hey, we can hit the best of both worlds by leading it to a blog post. For those that want to go to a blog post, they can click on that. But for those that want to comment, we can start to build engagement with those people and have those one-on-one conversations and get them through a process where now we're the one talking,
And now it's all automated.
Yeah.
It's all automated through messenger bots, email follow-up. We really just sit down and do the meeting.
Yeah, and that's now. Not when we first started. We were more hands-on, one-on-one, because we didn't have 30, 40, 50 people every single day sending us a message or doing everything like that. Now we do, and so now we had to automate that process a little bit more, but it's just cool. So for that person that comes to you and says, man, I really want to make money fast, do the basics of what you already have, and then start to learn how to implement this in, and then get good at video chat.
Start engaging with people.
It was the fastest way that got us to where we are. Yep. And we still use that today.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the beauty is the next time I can just go watch this video.
Yeah. Exactly.
Automating this process.
Yeah, love it.
Go watch their interview.
Yeah.
Like just go watch this.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
Yep.
So we've only got a couple minutes. So any final tips for folks, just to help them get started?
Yeah, my tip would be, there's going to be a lot of information. Don't get overwhelmed with the information. I know that's easier said than done. It's going to happen. Be okay with that overwhelming feeling. It's the only reason they feel overwhelmed is because your mind is actually expanding right now. You're retaining new information, which is going to put your mind at kind of a discomfort because it's used to what it's already retained and it doesn't want to retain more. So you're pushing your mind to its limits of new information, and that can be overwhelming, and it gets people to take inaction, but also to set the proper expectations with the mindset of coming into this and saying, man, I need to make money fast. Because when you use a term like that, man, I need to make money fast, and you say it like that, even if you say it softly like, I just need to make money fast, like in a nice way, you're actually still acting out of desperation. And what we didn't do is one thing that we realized really quick, and glad we never did, was actually start acting out of desperation. Even though we were in a tough situation, we just got to work, we got grit, and we just kept pushing along because we made the choice that, okay, here's our mentor, this is what we want to do, and we just stuck with it.
And my tip actually plays off of that, where my tip is find a mentor. Find someone, if you want to get there fast, find someone that you can model, mimic, and make your own. I mean, that's something that we say here in the community a lot. But if you have someone who has been where you want to go, it makes sense to kind of link arms with that person so that they can show you the ropes, right? Connect with that person. And it's really cool because you're inside the Elite Marketing Pro community. That's what it's all about, is, that community that's linking arms and all going there together.
Yep. Yeah.
That's great. So next year is our 10th anniversary.
Oh, my goodness.
So
love it.
If someone's at home right now, they're watching, and they're thinking, I wonder if I should join.
You're right.
Everyone in Vegas.
Yeah.
Any thoughts for that individual?
Get here.
Yeah.
Get here. Right?
Totally. What's funny is we were in a position where we couldn't do a whole lot of stuff. I was still working a job, doing all that stuff. So we decided, we're going to do this. And then 3 weeks later, we had No Excuses 7.
Yeah.
And we
it
had
was our very first No Excuses,
which was in San Diego at the time. And so we we jumped in a car right after I got off work. It was like 3 p.m. and drove all day and all night. Actually, I think it was later because I was still driving the big trucks at the time.
Yeah.
And we get in the car. We didn't get to San Diego until like 3 a.m.
I think it was 4 a.m.
Yeah.
because there was construction, and so they were taking us on detours.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I think that year, No Excuses started early. Like
Yeah.
it didn't start
like
later.
at 9 o'clock or
Yeah,
something like
9
that.
or 10.
And I remember getting there, and I remember my brain hurt so bad because I was just like, I've never been in an atmosphere, because we've been to a lot of events in network marketing, and a lot of it you hear the same story. Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not retaining new information that's going to get you from point A to point B, just because there's not a lot of technical details of what that looks like. But then when we got
There's
down
not
here,
a lot of meat and potatoes,
yeah,
right?
and we got down here and it was like, holy cow, like there was so much of that like I didn't know what to do with the information, but it was a good feeling because now at least I could start to put all of that information into a roadmap, and I was going to have the guidance of what I needed to do to make that roadmap the best possible from point A to point B.
And really, No Excuses 7, the conversations we had,
Yeah.
the training we got, and the decisions that we made at that event are what propelled us to the multiple six-figure mark.
Yep.
Less than 10 months after that first No Excuses
Yeah.
event, we had our very first $20,000 month.
Yep.
And not to say that anybody that comes is going to have those results. However, there are a lot of people right now that are kicking butt because of No Excuses.
Yeah, and I mean, we continue to come back because we continue to learn from it. We continue to grow from it. I've learned a lot of valuable information that other people that are doing inside their businesses that I've connected with and just said, that's genius,
Yeah.
because right now we're trying to go from a 6 now to 7-figure business, and I need all the help I can get, even from other people that are trying different things and doing different things.
Yeah.
And really, there's not a whole lot of locations, except No Excuses, where you can connect with those people that are actually doing something that you probably want to be doing or have been watching somebody do. So, all in all, what she said, get to No Excuses 10. Really, that's as simple as that.
If you're a network
If you're serious about your business.
and you're serious about your business and you're sick and tired of doing the home meetings, doing the parties, leaving your kids, paying the babysitter to raise them,
Yep.
get to No Excuses. Get to No Excuses 10 and learn how to attract prospects to you from home.
Or even being confused about, okay, I want to take my business online. I don't even know what that looks like. Like I've been fumbling around in the dark, throwing stuff out there. If you really want that kind of roadmap to A to B, this is where you're going to get it. And we've been around doing this a long time. Not very many people have a clear point A to point B, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
So,
I love it. So in case this wasn't clear, right, Whit and Cari, and in case this wasn't abundantly clear, literally nothing is typical about these two. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
You're awesome.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. We
Awesome.
appreciate you having us.
Yeah.